Parashat Yitro, Exodus chapter 18 verse 1 to chapter 20 verse 23. Chapter 18. Now Jethro, the priest of Midian, and Moses his father-in-law, heard about everything God had done for Moses and for his people Israel, and how Adonai brought Israel out of Egypt. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, had taken in Moses' wife Zipporah after he had sent her away with her 2 sons. One was named Gershom because he said, "I have been an outsider in a foreign land." And the name of the other was Eliezer because he said, "For my father's God is my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh." So Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife to Moses into the wilderness where he was encamped at the mountain of God. He had told Moses, "I, Jethro, your father-in-law, am coming to you, along with your wife and her 2 sons." So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, then bowed down and kissed him. They asked each other about their welfare and went into the tent. Moses told his father-in-law all that Adonai had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, as well as all the travail that had come upon them along the way, and how Adonai delivered them. Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness that Adonai had shown to Israel, since he had delivered them out of the hand of the Egyptians. Jethro said, "Blessed be Adonai, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, and he has delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that Adonai is greater than all gods, since they acted arrogantly against them." Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, presented a burnt offering and sacrifices to God. Aaron also came along with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. The next day Moses sat to judge the people, and they stood around Moses from morning till evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did for the people, he said, "What's this you're doing to the people? Why sit by yourself alone with all the people standing around from morning until evening?" Moses answered his father-in-law, "It's because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have an issue, it comes to me, and I judge between a man and his neighbor, so I make them understand God's statutes and his laws." But Moses' father-in-law said to him, "What you're doing is no good. You will surely wear yourself out, as well as these people who are with you, because the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone, by yourself. Now listen to my voice. I will give you advice, and may God be with you. Represent the people before God and bring their cases to God. Enlighten them as to the statutes and the laws, and show them the way by which they must walk and the work they must do. But you should seek out capable men out of all the people, men who fear God, men of truth who hate bribery. Appoint them to be rulers over thousands, hundreds, 50s, and 10s. Let them judge the people all the time. Then let every major case be brought to you. But every minor case they can judge for themselves. Make it easier for yourself as they bear the burden with you. If you do this thing as God so commands you, then you will be able to endure, and all these people will go to their places in shalom." So Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. Moses chose capable men out of all Israel and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, hundreds, 50s, and 10s. They judged the people all the time. The hard cases they brought to Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went on his way to his own land. Chapter 19. In the 3rd month after Bnei Yisrael had gone out of the land of Egypt, that same day they arrived at the wilderness of Sinai. They traveled from Rephidim, came into the wilderness of Sinai, and set up camp in the wilderness. Israel camped there, right in front of the mountain. Moses went up to God, and Adonai called to him from the mountain, saying, "Say this to the house of Jacob and tell Bnei Yisrael, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now then, if you listen closely to my voice and keep my covenant, then you will be my own treasure from among all people, for all the earth is mine. So as for you, you will be to me a kingdom of Kohanim and a holy nation. These are the words which you are to speak to Bnei Israel." So Moses went, called for the elders of the people, and put before them all these words that Adonai had commanded him. All the people answered together and said, "Everything that Adonai has spoken we will do." Then Moses reported the words of the people to Adonai. Adonai said to Moses, "I am about to come to you in a thick cloud, so that the people will hear when I speak with you, and believe you forever." Then Moses told the words of the people to Adonai. Adonai said to Moses, "Go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow. Let them wash their clothing. Be ready for the third day. For on the third day Adonai will come down upon Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. You are to set boundaries for the people all around, saying, 'Be very careful not to go up onto the mountain or touch the border of it. Whoever touches the mountain will surely be put to death. Not a hand is to touch it, but he will surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it is an animal or a man, it will not live. When the shofar sounds, they may come up to the mountain." Then Moses went down from the mountain to the people, consecrated them, and then they washed their clothing. He said to the people, "Be ready for the third day. Do not draw near your wives." In the morning of the third day there was thundering and lightning, a thick cloud on the mountain, and the blast of an exceedingly loud shofar. All the people in the camp trembled. Then Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the lowest part of the mountain. Now the entire Mount Sinai was in smoke, because Adonai had descended upon it in fire. The smoke ascended like the smoke of a furnace. The whole mountain quaked greatly, and the sound of the shofar grew louder and louder. Moses spoke, and God answered him with a thunderous sound. Then Adonai came down onto Mount Sinai, to the top of the mountain. Adonai called Moses to the top of the mountain, so Moses went up. Then Adonai said to Moses, "Go down and warn the people, lest they break through to see Adonai and many of them die. Even the Kohanim who come near to Adonai must consecrate themselves, so that Adonai does not break out against them." Moses said to Adonai, "The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you are the one who warned us, saying, 'Set boundaries around the mountain and consecrate it.'" Then Adonai said to him, "Go down. You are to come back up, you and Aaron with you, but do not let the Kohanim and the people break through to come up to Adonai, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and told them. Chapter 20. And God spoke all these words, saying, "I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. Do not make for yourself a graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or on the earth below, or in the water underneath the earth. Do not bow down to them. Do not let anyone make you serve them. For I, Adonai, your God, am a jealous God, bringing the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing loving kindness to the thousands of generations of those who love me and keep my mitzvot. You must not take the name of Adonai your God in vain, for Adonai will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Remember Yom Shabbat to keep it holy. You are to work 6 days and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Shabbat to Adonai your God. In it you shall not do any work, not you, nor your son, your daughter, your male servant, your female servant, your cattle, nor the outsider that is within your gates. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Thus Adonai blessed you on Shabbat and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be long upon the land which Adonai your God is giving you. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Do not covet your neighbor's house, your neighbor's wife, his manservant, his maidservant, his ox, his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. All the people witnessed the thundering and the lightning and the sound of the shofar and the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they trembled and stood far off. So they said to Moses, "You speak to us, and we will listen, but do not let God speak to us, or we will die." So Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid, for God has come to test you, so that his fear may be in you, so that you do not sin." The people stood far off, while Moses drew near to the thick darkness where God was. Then Adonai said to Moses, Say this to Bnei Yisrael, You yourselves have seen that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make gods of silver alongside me, and do not make gods of gold for yourselves. You are to make an altar of earth for me, and there you will sacrifice your burnt offerings, your fellowship offerings, your sheep, and your cattle. In every place where I cause my name to be mentioned, I will come to you and bless you. When you make for me an altar of stones, do not build it from cut stone, for if you use a tool on it, you will have profaned it. Nor are you to go up to my altar on steps, so that your nakedness would not be uncovered while on it. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 1 to chapter 7 verse 6. In the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw Adonai sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Seraphim were standing above him. Each had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. One called out to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is Adonai Tzevaot. The whole earth is full of his glory. Then the posts of the door trembled at the voice of those who called, and the house was filled with smoke. Then I said, Oy to me, for I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I am dwelling among a people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, Adonai Tzevaot. Then one of the seraphim flew to me, with a glowing coal in his hand, which he had taken with tongs from the altar. He touched my mouth with it and said, Behold, this has touched your lips, your iniquity is taken away, and your sins atoned for. Then I heard the voice of Adonai saying, Whom should I send, and who will go for us? So I said, Hineni, send me. Then he said, Go, tell this people, hear without understanding, and see without perceiving. Make the heart of this people fat, their ears heavy, and their eyes blind. Else they would see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and return and be healed. Then I said, Adonai, how long? He answered, Until cities are laid waste and without inhabitant, houses are without people, and the land is utterly desolate. Adonai will drive people far away. The desertion of the land will be vast. Though a tenth still be in it, it will again be burned. As a terebinth tree, or as an oak whose stump remains when cut down, so the holy seed will be the stump. Now it came about in the days of Ahaz, son of Jotham, son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that King Rezin of Aram and King Pekah, son of Remaliah of Israel, went up to Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it. When it was reported to the house of David, saying, Aram is camped in Ephraim, his heart as well as the heart of his people shook like the trees of the forest shaking with the wind. And Adonai said to Isaiah, Go out now to meet Ahaz, you and Shear-Jashub your son, at the end of the aqueduct from the upper pool, in the highway of the fuller's field, and say to him, Keep calm and be quiet. Do not fear nor be faint-hearted because of these 2 stubs of smoldering firebrands, because of the fierce anger of Rezin and Aram, nor of the son of Remaliah. Because Aram has plotted harm against you, along with Ephraim and the son of Remaliah, saying, Let us go up against Judah, terrorize it, divide it for ourselves, and appoint Tabaal's son as king in the midst of it. Isaiah chapter 9, verses 5 and 6. For to us a child is born, a son will be given to us, and the government will be upon his shoulder. His name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, My Father of Eternity, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and shalom there will be no end on the throne of David, and over his kingdom, to establish it and uphold it through justice and righteousness from now until forevermore. The zeal of Adonai Tzevaot will accomplish this. Matthew chapter 5, verse 8 to 20. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and say all kinds of evil against you falsely on account of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward in heaven is great. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt should lose its flavor, how shall it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they put it on a lampstand so it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men so they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Do not think that I came to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I did not come to abolish, but to fulfill. Amen. I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not the smallest letter or serif shall ever pass away from the Torah until all things come to pass. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others the same shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever keeps and teaches them, this one shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness exceeds that of the Pharisees and Torah scholars, you shall never enter the kingdom of heaven.